Dark Discoveries is a podcast that dives into the darker corners of history, mystery, and the downright bizarre. We discuss real events that may include graphic details, adult themes, and strong language, not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
We're here to inform, entertain, and maybe make you laugh nervously in public, but never to glorify criminals or make light of victims. Our research is thorough, but hey, we're not perfect.
We don't claim to be historians, so if we get something slightly off, blame Jackie. All opinions are our own, and sometimes even those are questionable.
Welcome back to Dark Discoveries. I am your host, Jackie, and I am joined with my co-host,
Jimbo.
And
Dustin.
Yay, we know our names. All right. Welcome back. Tonight we are diving into some weird stuff here, and we are going to go to Alabama.
So, Jackie, when you think of Alabama, what do you think about?
It's kind of hard to say. There's this one movie that I really love, and that's what I think about. What about you?
Forrest Gump?
Yeah, that's what I was implying.
I was thinking about Milo Sweet Tea.
Ew.
Jack's.
Ew.
I'm thinking of Gulf Shores, Alabama.
A taco.
Beautiful white sand.
A taco burger from Taco Casa.
Why do you always think about food?
Because that's the only good thing in Alabama. Oh. Except for something else I'm going to talk about.
Oh.
But there is a place.
You just lost all of our Alabamians. I'm real sorry,
There is a place in Alabama I really, really, really want to go to. It's down by Mobile. It's a small town called Fairhope. You should look at it.
Is there some food place you want to eat?
It's just one of those places that time has kind of left behind that just...
Which means they do Sunday dinners.
Exactly.
I'm putting down what you got.
Time moves a little bit slower.
Yes.
So you can keep up.
It just, you can kind of relax and take things in,
It's like Mayberry.
Oh, yeah.
No, because Mayberry was a lie, because Mayberry had a lot of people that lived there and they acted like it was a small little town.
It was a small town.
Like 20,000 people. Like, I think a small town is like
there wasn't 20,000 people on that show.
No, but like,
we're not talking about the real life Mayberry.
Yeah.
Mayberry doesn't exist. It's
That's
in our
why.
hearts. It does.
Yes, it does.
Mount Airy, North Carolina is what it's
based.
based off of. What was the fictional?
Wow, we went off the rails already.
How does he
This is
do it?
amazing. Every time.
It's you guys that took us off the rails.
Let's see what the fictional population was.
All right, Jackie, go ahead and start your story.
I would love to, but I'm going to be
Mayberry.
interrupted in about 30 seconds. So I'll give him another few moments of stalling.
Mayberry, I want to say, like it said, it had like a population of like 18 to 20,000. So I'd have to find it. Just take my word for it. But a small town is like 800 people. So just remember that.
I was born in a small town.
Learn to love in a small town.
Please don't sing in a big town or a small town. It's bad. Bad. Now, Jackie, what is your, when we're talking about Alabama-ness?
Tonight, I am taking us to Scottsboro, Alabama. So let's set the scene. Scottsboro is a small town in northwest Alabama with a population just under 15,000.
Oh, it's Mayberry.
Oh, wow.
So for those of you that don't know, it is just southeast of Huntsville. Just so people know.
Okay, sorry I didn't have the geographics down. God, John Wayne. All right.
In the vastness of Alabama, I just needed to know where it was at.
I'm glad you know now.
Well, what kind of food do they serve?
Let's ask you, Dustin.
He'll find us something.
It's probably smothered in Alabama white sauce.
All right. So, back to Scottsboro. It is home to one of the strangest retail experiences in America, the Unclaimed Baggage Center.
Ooh, have you seen the sign for this place?
Yes, that's
It
why I'm
is
covering
freaking
it.
awesome.
All right. The facility receives thousands of pieces of airline luggage each year, bags that have never been claimed. The items inside are cleaned, sorted, and then sold. It's like a massive thrift store where, you can find anything from a digital camera to a nice Hawaiian shirt. It's great. Shoppers come from all over the country, and you can walk out with a secondhand laptop, a diamond ring. But one thing people would not expect is an entire weapons system. Oh, I got eyebrows on that
You
one.
would think an entire weapon system would have some type of tracking device.
You would think, right?
Wait, the government?
What a concept.
The government's not going to take care of their own
Put an
stuff.
Apple,
Wait a minute,
tracker in there.
But
Come
let's
on.
think about it. This is coming from the same people that were testing cats with.
Oh, yeah, you got a point there.
things from
Yeah.
World War
It's
II or
safe,
whatever it was.
it's safe to say that we all lost our faith in the government long before this.
Yeah, that's very true. All right. Well, according to employees, it began like any other shipment. A batch of suitcases arrived, but one bag was heavier than they expected and oddly packed. There were no clothes, no tags, no personal IDs. Inside was a dense metallic object with wires, fins, a circuit board, and something that looked like a targeting array. Staff initially thought that it was a drone. But one worker, which was a former military technician, recognized it immediately. A guidance systems for a missile. Not a model, not a toy, not some simulation. This is a working military component, something that belonged to the U.S. Air Force or a defense contractor. Panic ensued. The Unclaimed Baggage Center immediately called authorities, not the local police, not the airport. They called the U.S. Air Force. They didn't have time to explain. Military officials responded quickly and quietly. A team arrived to retrieve the system. No names were disclosed. No major news outlets were covering the event at the time, and it was swept under the rug. But those who witnessed it said the Air Force did not treat this like a prank. It was serious. So how did it get here? That is still a mystery. How does a missile guidance system end up on a commercial flight?
So I'm going to say probably somebody that was supposed to hand deliver it who maybe had too many in-flight cocktails.
Ooh, good guess.
And either that or somebody that missed their connecting flight
Yeah, that's probably
because he was drinking too many cocktails in the lounge.
Notice it was missing.
Maybe he
though.
just quit his job, had one of them days. I'm done.
I'm done. You can
Take
pick it up.
this job and shove it.
Some guy's at the wrong airport. Where is it?
He got his baggage mixed up. He opened up a suitcase of Dustin. With,
Get all the way
with
there.
a
It's like,
Hawaiian shirt.
whose underwear is this? Yes. So theories out there include a military contractor transporting the sensitive hardware mislabeled the bag, a government courier lost the luggage during a connection, a rogue collector or engineer shipping components under the radar. Because no one ever claimed this bag, no one was ever held responsible. It is possible that the bag was shipped from a base to a base, but once entered into commercial hands, it was just, lost. Other weird finds in this fun little place.
So was it actually the U.S. Air Force's property?
It was.
So they
yes.
couldn't track of whose it was?
No, they don't know why it was there. And they don't know who put it there. And no one claimed it. So I'm
You
assuming.
would think somebody said, okay, this is your job to get it from A to B.
You would think, right?
You would think, but it's also one of those things that you can rule out, well, did they maybe try to get on there to see if it would get past security to check a security measure, but then somebody would retrieve that.
Yeah, you would think. So the Scottsboro store in Alabama, the Unclaimed Baggage Center, has seen its fair share of oddities. A full set of armor,
I want it.
vacuum-sealed exotic frogs,
Dustin wants it.
a wedding dress with the marriage license still inside. Somebody had a bad day. Okay.
Yeah, was it signed? Because it sounds like somebody didn't walk the aisle on that.
It sounds like they lost their wedding dress. Okay. A 40-pound anchor, a live rattlesnake, a shrunken head, a space shuttle camera, a space shuttle camera, a Michael Jordan signed basketball,
Oh, that's worth money.
Hoggle the puppet from Labyrinth, which is now a permanent exhibit in the center's museum, a unicycle, a cowboy hat signed by Gary Sinise, an illuminized fire suit, a life-size Winnie the Pooh bear, a jar containing preserved rattlesnakes, hand-painted ostrich eggs from South Africa, a shrunken head, and Egyptian artifacts, including a mummified falcon.
What's funny is all those Egyptian artifacts, the snakes, the the ostrich eggs that are painted. That's all stuff Homeland Security should have found when it entered the U.S. and confiscated.
You would think, right? Well, if they're shipping throughout the U.S.
Oh, they have, but still it goes through customs.
But it depends.
There's a whole show about Egyptian artifacts and stuff that get brought in. They have to.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a huge process that goes into taking it, trying to figure out where it came from.
Museums to museums will ship entire exhibits.
But
so it could have been.
It could have been before Homeland Security was even around, because that puppet from Labyrinth was in the 80s, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you don't know when.
Yeah.
I'm sure that store is only, 10, 20 years old. So it's definitely going to be past, 2011, 2001.
Well, it does make you think, what else have we lost track of? What other secrets are hiding in unassuming bags? The missile guidance system was removed and most likely never spoken about. No press releases, no congressional hearing, just quietly gone. The story the employees all will tell is in hushed tones, but in Scottsboro, Alabama, its legend still lives on. So next time your bag is late, just hope you're not carrying anything classified.
Yeah, I want to know who took the snake on a plane, because
multiple snakes, snake eggs, all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
would literally chain them up to like the landing gear and take off with them people, because don't be so freaking stupid to smuggle in poisonous snakes.
I mean, did they not see the movie Snakes on a Plane? Clearly.
Exactly. I'm tired of all these goddamn snakes on a plane. And that's why I won't fly, because I am terrified of snakes.
So how about you, Jimbo? What have you got for us?
All right, I have tonight the mystery of Frederick Valentich. So,
excuse you.
A young pilot, a routine flight, and a voice that vanished into the unknown, leaving only questions, static, and a haunting mystery.
Maybe that's where this came from.
Could be.
All connected.
Could be all connected. Mm-hmm. So Frederick Valentich, aged 20, was an inspiring commercial pilot from Australia, known for his meticulous attention to detail. He had been training for his license and had a passion for aviation that bordered an obsession. So this guy studied, unlike Dustin for our show. He actually took meticulous notes.
Once again, the research I did, we haven't even got to from last night. So I stayed up late. I stayed up last night to make sure that I had plenty of topics.
Well, I hope you got all your papers this week. So on October 21st, 1978, he departed for Moorabbin Airport on a twilight training flight to King Island, not Kings Island in Ohio.
Dang it.
Flying a Cessna 1821.
Ooh, that's a little plane.
Yeah.
Weather reports described
go for a ride on the vortex one last time, but
clear skies.
let's go.
A seemingly ordinary night, but ordinary would end abruptly. Shortly after takeoff, Valentich contacted Melbourne Air Traffic Control, or the ATC. Let's listen to a recreation of the initial dialogue. Are you ready? So, ATC, Melbourne, this is Frederick Valentich, Cessna 182L, departing Moorabbin, heading King Island. Frequency checked, altimeter set, flight proceeding normally. Then came the first sign of strangeness. Valentich, Melbourne, I think there's another aircraft above me. It's a large metallic, it's moving strangely. I've never seen anything like it. Controllers on the ground were immediately puzzled. Radar showed no other aircraft, yet Valentich continued. It's hovering, 4 bright lights. It's above me. It seems to be following. Melbourne, what should I do? The young pilot's voice grew urgent. He reported the lights performing maneuvers impossible for a conventional aircraft. And then his last transmission, Valentich, who's cut off mid-sentence, it's not an aircraft. It's metallic, and it's Then there was abrupt static, eerie metallic scraping sounds.
Ooh, I don't like
And
that.
then silence. Frederick Valentich and his Cessna 182L never arrived at King Island. Search teams scoured the Bass Strait, ships, aircraft, divers, but found no wreckage, no trace of the plane, no remains of the pilot. It was as if he had been swallowed by the sea or by something else entirely. To explore this, let's hear from aviation expert Dr. Elaine Carter. Quote, night flights over water can create optical illusions. Stars, reflections, and even fishing boats can appear as lights. Pilots can misjudge distance and speed. However, Valentich was experienced enough that such a mistake at this stage seems highly unlikely. Yet skeptics point to psychological factors. Valentich reportedly had a fascination with UFOs. Mm-hmm. Could excitement, stress, or expectation have altered his perception? UFO researcher Daniel Reyes offers another perspective. Valentich's description matches many reported UFO sightings: large, metallic, hovering objects with bright lights. The metallic scraping sound on the radio is particularly compelling, possibly some unknown technology interacting with the aircraft's systems. Radar records indicate no other conventional aircraft were in the area. Communications abruptly ended mid-transmission, raising the possibility of electromagnetic interference. So let's pause to recreate the tension of that fateful flight. Imagine being in the cockpit, the sun is set, the ocean stretches endlessly below, and above, four lights hover unnaturally, moving with intelligence, not physics. The hum of your engine is drowned by the thrum of something beyond understanding, and then a sound metallic scraping, unplaceable. Even today, investigators debate what could have occurred. Let's examine some of their theories. Number one, pilot disorientation. Optical illusions over water can cause experimental pilots to misperceive experienced pilots, size, speed, and distance. Could Valentich have misjudged lights from fishing boats? What do you guys think? Yes, no, maybe?
Maybe, but this is a pilot that's been around for...
And he was obsessed, they said, with, meticulous notes, and he was also obsessed with UFOs. So.
Yeah.
Number two, mechanical failure. A Cessna 182L engine failure could explain the disappearance, but not the detailed description of an unknown craft, nor the radio interference.
But what if you knew that you may try to end it all? Would you maybe say something like that to
that's like
leave a legend, and then you just dip the plane in the water?
Here's the thing. They would see where he went down if they're tracking him.
They would find the wreckage. But that reminds me, I just seen a video the other day where the guy stole that airplane, and he was having a mental breakdown, and he gets on air traffic control because he had never flown this before. And he's up there flying around, and he's in contact, and you can hear the audio transmission of this guy. And he's like, I got a lot of things going on. And he's like, I'm thinking about ending it all, but I just wanted to go on one last flight and all this. And they're trying to talk him out to, hey, can we land this plane? He's like, yeah. He's like, but first, he said, I want to see if you think this thing can do a barrel roll or whatever, So he's like, well, I don't know. So they're just still trying, and you can hear all this audio. I'll have to find it. And he takes off on that thing, and he goes up, and he does this full barrel roll. And they said that he cleared it. He said, yeah, just for the record, he did clear it with about 10 feet above the water. Wow. Pulled it off. This guy had never been in this plane. And he's like, all right. He's like, he did that. He's like, I don't know if it's ever been done before. He's like, but, he's talking about, they just say, hey, why don't you bring it back home? He's like, I just don't know if I can do that. And he said, I'm sorry for whatever. And basically he crashes it because the mental toll that he was having on his body. Yeah,
you just never know what people are going through. So
but it's very interesting. If I can find it, I'll pull it up for you guys. That's really cool. But the number three, the UFO encounter. Many suggest Valentich was observing or being approached by an extraterrestrial craft, possibly leading to an abduction or an unknown phenomenon. But if they did, they would have to take his ship too, or his plane, because you don't have any of that. Mm-hmm. Number four, deliberate disappearance. While theoretically possible, the young pilot had no known motive to vanish voluntarily. they had tracking. They had him on radar.
Right.
You're not just going to...
A plane just doesn't disappear unless it's crashed.
Right.
Yeah.
And even then, you would have
You'd
the
have
last known coordinates. You would have wreckage.
exactly.
You would have
You
all
could
that.
have someone come out and
Right.
check.
So, adding context, radio operator testimony recounts the panic and confusion on the frequency. AT staff described the voice changing in pitch, becoming frantic yet calm, as if seeing something beyond comprehension. The Bass Strait itself, or Bay Strait, whichever, adds to the mystery. Treacherous currents, deep waters, and variable weather conditions make recovering of any wreckage difficult, but decades of searching have yielded absolutely nothing. Frederick Valentich's disappearance entered UFO folklore, spawning books, documentaries, and endless speculation. Pilots report similar lights in the area, and some claim mysterious craft appear to this day. Was this a tragic accident, a moment of disorientation, or a brush with something truly beyond human understanding?
Hey, Jimbo, how far is this from the Bermuda Triangle?
I don't know. This is in Australia, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
Australia.
you could
Come on,
be
John
flying.
Wayne, tell us where it's at.
Yeah. Well, why don't you Google that?
I guess you did say it was down under.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. I don't know, Dustin. Why don't you tell us where you can eat on your way to Australia to the Bermuda Triangle?
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
I know if I'm going to Australia, it's going to be for seafood, lobster and shrimp and all kinds of stuff like that.
Kangaroo?
Maybe some kangaroo and dingo.
Ew.
The skies over the Bass Strait remained as mysterious as the day Valentich vanished, whispering secrets that may never be uncovered. So when you look at the night sky, remember Frederick Valentich. Some lights are not stars, and some disappear without a trace, leaving only silence, questions, and the faintest echo of a voice calling across the void. So, Dustin, what do you think happened to him?
You want realistic or you want some bullcrap?
Well, I think either one you come up with is going to be the same answer. So.
Let's just go.
One and the same.
Can we verify this person ever existed?
Yes, they have the audio transmission.
Not staged or not made to make you believe that there's aliens? Somebody.
I mean, he was a successful pilot.
I'm just saying, just because I can write a story and it can be about anything, it doesn't mean it's real, and you can stage the information. So
You can, but you can't stage.
you can 100%
Plane just
verify that this
disappearing.
person did exist.
Yes, he was alive.
Okay, I'm just saying because me and you could dream up a story and record it and put it out there and be like, this is the transcript from it, and you can fake it all the way and use it to push a narrative that
Okay, but you're not answering the question.
somebody was abducted by aliens.
So what do you think happened to him, Dustin, is what I'm asking you.
I don't believe in aliens, so I'm going to say it's probably a medical emergency, and he was going nuts and thought somebody was trying to abduct him, and it was just him having a heart attack, and then I don't know where the plane went because you'd have it on radar. So that's...
Or do you think he could have went to another dimension? That's why you don't have any, like
there-
a parallel universe.
Yeah, is there another Bermuda Triangle somewhere in between? Another space of area that creates unexplained phenomena?
Do. Phenomena.
Do. I don't know. That's a tricky one because I am a believer in UFOs and I'm a believer in aliens. To crudely quote John Tenney, ufologist, he has never seen an alien encounter that ended well for the person involved. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a very true statement. I think they are everywhere, honestly. I mean, it's one of those things that there's numerous accounts of pilots that have seen strange lights, have been followed by craft that they couldn't see or be around. My question is, did the technician by chance see anything else in the area of this flight pattern? I mean, it's not really stated, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't there or not there.
Well, and he was only 20 years old. Let's not forget that. But they said that he was, he was a hard studier, and all that, one of the best pilots. So I don't know, flying at night, you could get disoriented.
Oh, absolutely.
But even if he went down, like Dustin said, and crashed, there would be evidence of something somewhere.
Yeah, you
Once
have
he
to
hits the
know
water.
like what kind of area that you're in. Are you close enough to land where you could get lost in a mountain range? Could he have just been going up high to get away from the radar and escape the radar that way, staged a disappearance and gets found somewhere else, you know?
But I'm sure they had where he was going from point A to point B. They probably knew where he was going and what direction he was heading.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually always a logical explanation. You just have to do a lot of digging to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And with you
I
talking
just
about
want to know where the
aliens,
plane is. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think I heard something from a guy who claims that he was abducted by aliens, that I think the green aliens are good, the gray are bad.
There's multiple stories of types of aliens. The grays normally are not a good encounter. It almost comes across as sinister and more controlling than some other encounters.
Well, that was that guy you did the story on that had the 12 different types of aliens. Too. I
11.
can't remember his name. What was his name? Phillips?
Travis.
Or
Yeah.
Phillips somebody, I think,
I
right?
have so many. So I'll have to go through my notes. I don't even remember who I talked about now. But yeah, there is so many of
Because one of them were like
cases that don't go well.
insectoids, one of them were like lizard
Yes,
people, one of them were
yes.
like green men, one of them were like grays.
I know that was just his thing was, green good, gray bad.
Yeah, so the 11 types of aliens and the Philip Schneider
Yeah, Philip
case.
Schneider.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of Travis
Walton is who you're
Walton,
thinking of,
who's
yeah.
my next case that I've got on that. But yeah, he was the gentleman that actually, he was a whistleblower with the FBI, the one that we were just talking about here. And if you haven't listened to that episode, it is quite fascinating. He was found due to suicide, but it was so suspicious that most people believe that he was killed to shut him up.
The government unalived him.
Yes, because he was exposing alien encounters, how many there are, what types there are, where they're from, what people have seen, what they are teaching us. And he also went on to let people know that everything that the government is putting out knowledge-wise, they're almost 50 years ahead of what we are being told and seeing right now. So yeah, there is secret government testing, and that's what he was talking about. And when they found him dead, it was very suspicious. He was missing fingernails and things off of his pre-existing fingers, and yeah, it was all kinds of really terrible.
Do you think it could have been some government worldwide that basically just evaporated the whole thing using some sort of new technological warfare weaponry and just
I think that
vaporized him?
I think the government has a lot of things that they are capable of and do that we are never to know about.
I'm not just saying our government. I'm saying, like, let's say North Korea.
Yeah,
that guy
worldwide.
could.
If you look at what Germany was trying to produce in the 40s during World War II, some of
Yeah.
the technology and the ideas of what they were trying to accomplish were amazing. Like just the thought of trying to do certain things,
but the way they were doing it was,
it was horrible.
the problem.
It
Yeah.
was absolutely horrible. But like what they were developing was 30, 40 years ahead of its time.
Well, that's also why we stole several of the physicists.
And that's what we
afterwards.
know. So, I'm sure the U.S. was probably 30, 40 years, if not longer, ahead as well. But they didn't really leak what they were doing.
Oh,
they
no.
just took what was there to kind of, hey, this is, you find out later anyways, but then you adapt things. You take people to further progress what you're doing. So at that time, I'm going to say, there's tons of stuff we don't know about.
Well, a military cover up is definitely not out of the realm of possibilities too. So, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
too much.
craft that
and-
they're working on, and yeah, or he saw something he shouldn't have seen, and
Or they always say that not all UFOs come from above. It could have came
Come
from
from below,
in the
yes,
ocean.
which
so
would be
that would explain the
interesting.
lights under the water.
yes,
Or in the water.
Well, and that is something that's very fascinating. People that dive or have been in car accidents trapped with that, it flips in the water. When they get out or they're free or they're diving, they sometimes cannot tell what is up and what is down.
Yeah, so that's when you get someone that was maybe disoriented,
Yes.
which direction he was going.
So it's all about, a lot of them I've heard divers say, watch your bubbles, and that will tell you which direction to go.
And if you're having a medical emergency and you roll the plane over and you're looking at a ship or you're looking at the water or reflection or whatever, reflecting off the ground, that could, if you're low enough to the water and you go in and not crash, but you kind of go in and then you wedge yourself down below, that could maybe keep the wreckage at a minimum and then would explain why.
But even then, you would still have
radar.
something.
But it's not going to explain the scraping of the metallic noise that they hear.
The metal sound.
Because even if he crashed, it's going to...
Yeah,
it's not going to be no scraping.
Water.
It's going to be...
And it would, if they were able to recover the sound box like that, it would sound different.
But then again, if it's a Cessna, a small plane, is it going to have that stuff like a black box or anything?
Probably not a black box.
And what year was this? I don't know if you remember off the top of your head.
Because there was the time they became mandatory.
October 21st, 1978. So he departed from the Morgan Airport.
The 90s or 2000s seems like more on black boxes would be more relevant.
Remember, he was going to King Island. So that was from Moravian Airport to King Island.
Kings Island, Mason, Ohio to Australia is a long flight.
But the weather was clear skies.
Yeah, there was no reason.
Just an ordinary night.
I would love to know if the technician saw anything else on that radar that he was watching.
Right. Well, they said there was no other planes on the radar. So,
well, I wonder if they noticed anything when,
like abnormal, like
like when he was claiming to see it. If they caught anything,
and if he's gone radar, he's close enough to an airport or something. So, is it a military base he's close to? Is it? I mean, it just without diving deep into this and trying to read and research to come up with a logical solution, it's a little tough.
Yeah. It's fascinating, though, for sure.
All right, Dustin, I think you're taking us back down to Sweet Home Alabama.
Yep, we are going to go back down to Alabama with a little bit more Alabama-ness. So it's April 1982. An unknown L.W. Miller announces his intentions to make his debut in what was then the NASCAR Winston Cup Series at Talladega Superspeedway. He was to have backing from country music stars Merle Haggard and T.G. Shepherd. Wright would claim he had 43 starts in the Busch Grand National Series, which is kind of their AA right below. Just remember this part. This is me researching it right off the bat. This sticks out to me. So far, everything sounds pretty normal, right? But this is when everything starts to get interesting because nothing is as it seems. So the story goes, and this kind of comes from a little bit of a secret. The person who they think was L.W. Wright on his deathbed kind of confessed to some of this. So this is kind of his account, kind of what happened from people involved. So a few months before the race, Wright is going to walk into Space Age Marketing in Nashville, Tennessee, claiming his NASCAR team, Music City Racing, had backing from Merle Haggard and T.G. Shepherd, and convinces Bernie Terrell, the CEO or the guy in charge, to give him $37,500 to purchase a race car and to cover some expenses. So $37,000. You're like, okay, what's the big deal? But you have to think back in 1982, that's the equivalent of around $122,000. So that's a good chunk of change. So Wright would purchase a car from NASCAR driver Cuckoo Marlin and pay him $17,000 in cash, and he would write a check for the remaining $3,700. He would go on to write checks to Goodyear to pay for tires and other parts to finish the car. He would also write a check to Marlin to kind of finish the car, get it ready. Despite all this, LW would qualify for the 1982 Winston 500 at Talladega. Despite wrecking on his second qualifying lap, he would qualify 36, I think, out of 36 cars. He would only complete 13 laps before he was black flagged. Oh, sorry. He finished 39. He would qualify 36th, finished 39th out of 40 cars. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell he out-qualified 3 cars, but they did have to kind of fix the car a little bit. It's said that Wright would abandon, or at least legend says, he would abandon the car at the racetrack. Following the race, Wright would vanish and leave behind a trail of unpaid debts and bounced checks. Wright's disappearance and the mystery of his true identity would earn him the moniker the D.B. Cooper of NASCAR. For 40 years, there were no leads, no clues. Up until this point, this is all legend. We do know for a fact that he did run that race, but that's all we know. On the 40th anniversary, a former NASCAR magazine reporter secured and released an interview with Larry Wright, who claimed to be the mysterious L.W. Wright. During the interview with Wright, it's believed that he was formerly a bus driver for some country stars, and when they caught wind that he was trying to be a race car driver, that he's saying that they gave him some money to help. So he would say that, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, George Jones would all give him $3,000 to help cover, hotel expenses and tires and different things to get to the track. So the legend said that he abandoned his car at Talladega, but records do show that he attempted to qualify for the next race in Nashville, Tennessee, at the historic Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And if you've ever been there, Winchester up here in Indiana is a pretty badass half-mile racetrack. Nashville's a little different. It's an old school, kind of like Winchester is, but it's a bloody fast track. Not quite as fast as Winchester, but it's just, man, they tear shit up there. Like that was a fun trip we took down there. So Wright would go on to say that he never wrote any checks and paid for everything in cash. He would also go on to agree and say that he agreed to pay Cuckoo Marlin after Talladega. He had him paint the car and kind of rented his pit crew, so he paid for that in cash. It does appear he left his car in Nashville after not qualifying because his investor would recover the car. NASCAR would arrange for his arrest and hire private investigators to search for Wright. So, that's kind of where the story ends. Like kind of what we know and legend is, after Nashville, that's when he disappears. So, with it being such a mystery, let's kind of look quickly into the rest of Larry Wright's life. From what he would tell us, he would grow up in Richland, Virginia. He was forced to drop out of school when his dad broke his back. We're presuming that was in a coal mining accident because of the area. He said he would join the army to fight in Vietnam, but he was never sent overseas. He would then claim he never seen action because his brother was killed in action. So he joined, brother was killed. So he never served. Another story, he claims that he served 3 tours. So we already have an issue with his credibility. So, we're already getting that. And then we were kind of talking about 37 starts and the minor league NASCAR series. Let's be honest, if you would have ran that many races, we would have record of that. Those races, you got programs, you got statistics. There's all kinds of stuff that would say, okay, yeah, we've seen his name in there. So then it kind of changes into he was in another step below in the NASCAR Sportsman Series. Or was in a sportsman car at a NASCAR sanctioned track. So it keeps changing. His interview was released on May 2nd, 2002, and he would be arrested for theft and burglary and evading arrest on February 13th, 2023. He would later die of colon cancer in January of 2024. And then there is an interview that was 2 hours. A little bit has been released that they had on it. Supposedly there's some books coming out, but it's just kind of one of those little interesting stories that, somebody comes in, they kind of are able to do what they want, even though they're not remotely ready. But that's how the times was back then. You have money, it talks. But I'm going to say everything he said was probably some BS. And, just kind of committed fraud to chase a dream. But
he was still buying the stuff and everything from Goodyear for the tires and all that, right?
I'm going to say because what they would do is you give them a check. This is how many tires you need. This is how much it's going to cost. You give them a check. It's the 70s, you know, so you're going to probably trust people a little bit more in the 70s. So you write this check. It's Sunday or Saturday. The banks are closed. You can't go cash it. How long? You're a little bit older than I am. How long would it take if you wrote a check when you first wrote a check, which I'm going to guess would probably be the 80s, how long did it take for that check to clear at the bank before it came out of your account?
Well, Dustin, I was still a kid in the 80s, so I didn't really write a check.
Oh, you're older than that. So
Probably in the 90s, late 90s is when I would be writing checks. And even then, it would still take 2 to 3 days before we clear.
Go back even farther to where, you know, your check is probably not written at the same bank.
But let's face it,
they use. So it'd take probably 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe days a week, you know.
But let's face it, people used to send their kids with a note, hey, this is Mrs. Johnson. I want my kid to buy me some cigarettes and beer and carry a bag, and they would do it.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
And you know, we talked earlier in another episode about it was different back in the 70s. We didn't hear about these crimes. They happened. You just didn't hear about it. So people would give you a lot more trust than what you're going to get now. And, you know, maybe it takes a week or two before that check bounces because it's out of state, all this. Okay. Looks good. It looks like a real check. It is a real check. Looks good. They take it, they process it, gets deposited whenever it gets deposited, and it bounced. It ain't no good. So I just thought that was an interesting story. It's just one of those that's hard to get a lot of information on itself. I'm going to do a little bit more deep dives into some other characters in the racing world that were maybe involved in the Black Thursday scandal. So we've got some stuff with, you know, some drug dealing guys that financed racing that way. We've got some people who may have been involved with that disappeared, never to be seen again. So
the race car driver, Roger Ward?
Not him necessarily.
No,
but
I was telling you something.
But he's one that we may cover eventually.
I'm friends with his son.
Okay.
Yeah, he married all three of us girls, my sisters and I. He was an ordained minister.
I didn't think that was allowed outside of Utah.
Ew. Ew.
So that may open up something else I wasn't really looking into, but I kind of know a little bit about. So
he's really cool. I will cover some fun stories about him from Roger, junior, not senior. And actually for quote unquote Christmas, because we already gave it to him, the Indy 500 museum was selling some of Roger Ward Sr.'s stuff, and I contacted Junior because he lives in California and was telling him about it. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, lo and behold, I got a piece and gave it to my parents. And so they're doing an entire IndyCar display of Roger Ward Sr.'s stuff from when Roger lived literally just down the way from them. They were friends with him.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome guy. And some funny stories. I will tell you a story that won't embarrass him another night. That will embarrass him another night. I'm not going to tell it tonight because I would rather save it for the story. But you wait till you hear about this man's tattoo. It's the best thing in the world. Okay.
And there was guys, you know, in the 60s, 70s that were going and buying Indy cars with briefcases full of cash. Mm-hmm. And most people didn't just walk in and buy a race car like that cash. So we won't give out too many details, but there's some fun stuff if this seems like people are interested in, which I guess it doesn't really matter because if I'm interested, I'm going to talk about it. But there's some fun stories that we can keep, you know, going down these rabbit holes with. So this was just the first one to kind of test the waters. Like I said, fun. It's just one of those mystery things. It sucks when there's not a ton of information out and I have to actually buy a book and read it because
ChatGPT can't read.
No. When you got to scour do you guys remember?
You got it bad now.
No, I did.
No. Do you guys remember when you could type what you were looking for on Google and it would pull it right up?
Yeah,
now
I missed that.
There's so much crap now. You have to sort through all these different things to try to find what you're looking for. When used to, I used to be like a Google king because you could just, this is what I want. Like how you do it. You just type in exactly what you want. Now you got to sort through all kinds. Like this isn't related. It's all trying to go off of advertising and what pings first. And it's
because
makes it a little tougher.
ChatGPT is running it now.
Right.
So not the actual Google.
All right,
Just sucks,
Jackie, you got our missing child for this episode?
Yes. Tonight from Clio, Alabama, we have missing child case number. Wow, that just like went away. Okay. She doesn't have a case number. I've never seen that before.
What?
Yeah. Doesn't have a case number. Okay. Her name is Rosina Galvez, missing since March 4th of 2023, out of Clio, Alabama. Her age is 16 years old, female. Any information, you can call the Clio Police Department at 1-334-397-4402 or at 1-800-THE-LOST. We will put all of her information up. If I can come across a missing child case number for her, I will add that to it. Unfortunately, they did not put it on her poster, so I've never not seen that on there. So first for everything, right?
Yeah, you would think that they would have, an easy way to sort that. So that's
Yes.
Unless she's
little
been
interesting.
found.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
they-
normally I would have an update
Right.
on that. This still does have a geotag on it, so we can have people scan it with their phones and pull it up that way as well. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, Dustin, where can they find us out on all the social
Man,
medias?
you're going to ask me this question again.
You don't know it by now?
You would think they would know where we're at by now, right?
Not if it's their first time listening.
So we're getting new people listening. I hope we didn't scare them away.
That would have been you.
If we did, I bring them in and I scare them away. So,
50-50.
what can you do? Can't make everybody happy.
All right, where are we going?
So if you like what you heard, you can find us on Facebook at Dark Discoveries Podcast and in our group, Dark Discoveries Podcast. On Instagram, we're also Dark Discoveries Podcast, Dark Discoveries on Snapchat, and you can email us, darkdiscoveriespod@gmail.com.
All right.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, tell your friends,
Tell your enemies.
tell your enemies, tell your frenemies, tell your family.
Tell your dog.
Put us on loop. I don't really care.
And put a tracker in your luggage. Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Make
definitely.
sure you put a luggage tag. First off, don't leave your luggage. And if you're ever in Alabama around Huntsville, just take that detour and go to the Lost Baggage Center and get you some barbecue sauce with some
Gosh dang it.
some barbecue with some Alabama white sauce.
Well, this has been Dark Discoveries, where the deeper you dive.
The darker it gets.
Remember, Dustin, if you ain't first, you're last.